Good afternoon, everybody. This is Catalina Flore from Amsterdam, and I'm joined today by a wonderful human being, a very beautiful woman, Dona Agrizzi from Venice, Italy. And we are here to, first of all, reconnect because it's always a pleasure for me to connect with Dona and her wisdom. And it goes deeper. We're gonna have a discussion about how some conscious people that are ahead of us in dealing with COVID-19 in Italy are doing at individual, at family level, at society level. And Donna is a Italian counselor. She's a citizen of the world, first of all. She's a health and wealth coach and a lawyer that supports leaders physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, in having steady, powerful energies throughout the day, inspiring direction and resources and time maximization, optimization, and helping them to thrive. And we are here to talk about the Italian experience. They're ahead of us. Some that are more conscious than others took actions, and we want to learn, because we are in this together, and we're gonna do everything we can to navigate this period in a stronger and bringing the best in us at the service, right? So welcome, Donna, and so nice to have you here and have this discussion with you.
Thank you
How
so
are
much,
things in Italy?
Catalina.
How are things in Italy? And how are you?
So we are good, and the situation in Italy finally is getting better. So after, let's say, some mistakes we have made, finally now we have understood what to do. Each of us, what each of us need to do, and what is clever and wise to do as a group of people.
Right.
So yeah,
So
so
here's the
let's
thing.
start from
Yes,
our mistakes.
yes, that's it. Because yeah, we don't have influence on the government, but we have influence on what we can do in our world, right? So
Yes,
let's start
yes,
with the mistakes.
you
Let's
can
put
learn
them
from yourself.
right. So let's put them instead of mistakes, learning opportunities, and we get the learnings from you. Tell
Of
me.
course, that for us, any mistake is always a great opportunity to learn. And I
Yes,
have to thanks in this situation that we have done it, and we are still here to talk about it,
yes,
because you can have the lesson without the mistake. And
exactly.
first of all, I'm so uh, you know happy I can share about this, because awareness is everything.
Yes, absolutely. Is
So some
awareness is one of the important paths to transformation. So yes,
Yes. So what happened in Italy at the very beginning is
yes,
that we were dealing between two situations.
yes,
The first was to underestimate what was going on. So
yes.
nothing happened. Let's keep going with our lives and not be touched from this.
Go skiing,
Yeah, you know,
holiday, sort of
go skiing.
free time.
Who
Yes.
cares?
Who
Is
cares?
their
Come on.
problem.
Yes. Yes.
I am good, I'm strong, I am young.
Yes.
Uh, and the second was to panic. That is even worse than
Yes.
underestimate the problem. So
Yes.
we had two different, let's say, reactions, and sometimes the same person had both. So
Yes.
first was underestimating, then panicking, and then
About what's gonna.
underestimating one more time. And at the end, we have understood that we are safe.
Yes. Yes.
And
This is the most important. This is the deeper
yes,
meaning. Yes.
yes, we are safe, and we have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
and each other.
Mm.
And when we do it, when we are physically, mentally, and emotionally strong, and
Yes.
when we keep our daily routines, and we do even more than usual,
Yes.
we can really help others.
Mm. How did you notice? Because first of all, people underestimated that they started to panic. Let's talk, at family level. What happened there in different
It
groups of
happened
people?
that
How did it manifest this?
yeah, we said, oh, nothing is going on. And then the numbers of people that got it was
Hmm.
increasing dramatically. We have the hospitals that just couldn't receive any more people.
Yes. Yes.
All the respiratory machines were
Working.
busy. So we
Yeah.
had no chances to help people.
Yeah.
And so at that point, many alarms started going out saying, you have to stay home. If you don't,
Yes.
we will make it happen.
Yeah.
And then if you go out, you will receive a notice.
Yeah.
And so people started, understanding that was not a joke.
Yeah.
When everything was just shut
Yeah.
down,
We're gonna
because
talk.
we had all shops, schools, restaurants, bars, offices, public offices, high court, everything is closed.
Yeah.
So
And
we have to arrive to this point
yeah.
for people to understand that we have to stay home and
Yeah.
take care of ourselves, that we are all part of this, that we are all involved. Even if you are strong, even if you are physically, mentally, and emotionally strong, you
Yeah.
have to stay home to help others,
Yeah.
the one that are not strong and will be affected from your actions.
And here it comes the art of influence, because we live in democratic societies. You just cannot tell people you do this and that's it. And I notice, and also our government in the Netherlands becomes very much in terms of addressing the why is this important. And what are the consequences? And I don't know in Italy, but in the Netherlands, we have, I saw yesterday a documentary on the national television, and seeing doctors actually in ER in tears because they are overworked. And yeah, they fear that moment, that they must choose who is going to get in ER, who is going to get the treatment, and let's say the best chance to be still alive. So how did you guys approach this in Italy? Tell us.
So the point is that the direction was not, let's say, congruent. So the government at the very
Yeah.
beginning was doing nothing, just
Okay.
didn't know what to do.
Mm.
And so everybody was having his own thought. This is the point. So there
And that's
was
the danger.
not
Yeah.
one, only one line. Also
Yeah.
about what to do, about
Yeah.
wearing mask or not. So at the very beginning, we were told use the masks,
Mm.
and then they were not on sale anymore. So the second advice was you don't need to use the masks. Then after another maybe 2 weeks was you need to wear the mask, and we will provide them. So
Yes.
it was, not
Inconsistency in
congruent.
communication. Yes, in
Yes, the
communication.
message was not congruent during time. So some people uh, lost their trust into the advice that were given.
Mm.
But this was in a certain point good at a certain point, because people could talk each other,
Yeah.
and understand what was going on. So could understand by themselves what to do.
Hmm.
And our country, in our country, everybody needs to really understand why. So before you said the why is important,
Yes.
and making your own research allows you to understand why you're doing it.
Yes. Which comes always the art of change, knowing why you do what you're doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So now we are wiser, and we understand by ourselves. And we don't need that people tell us what to do or not, because we understand it. But it took
Okay.
over 1 month to get at this point.
So how can you shorten this period? What would you say if you were to be in this situation again? What would
Yes.
be the ideal way to go forward?
First of all, to stay calm and to understand what to do. So now, in this specific situation, we know very well what to do.
Hmm.
But next time, maybe could be something different, another challenge. So, first of all, is stay calm, stay objective,
Yeah.
and keep doing all your routines. This is so critical, because when your body is strong and clean and nourished, your mind is clear and flexible, and
Yeah.
your emotions
Yeah.
are stable. When you are centered, you
Yeah.
find a way. The point is, when you are intoxicated, when you are not centered and not strong, you
Yeah.
fear about things that you don't need to fear about.
That's very important. So food is medicine, and food helps us, uh, as
Yes,
you said, be more
yes,
centered and not being down and being anxious. Because if we eat
yes,
processed food and crazy food, this has influence on the gut, and the gut, we know that it's, the immunity resides there. If you say it's the motor
yes,
for your immunity, plus the serotonin, which is the feeling good
absolutely, absolutely.
neurotransmitter, is 90% in the gut. So we want to support, right? And you're an
Yes,
expert
and
in this
not
as
just
well.
with food. Food is not the first strategy to provide energy. So
Yes,
first of all, for example, is to breathe. You
yes,
have to breathe deeply and oxygenate your cells. Then,
yes,
for example, is meditation. You know that very well.
yes,
And drink water. I always have my water,
yeah,
lemon and baking soda water with me all the
yeah,
time, and I drink more than usual.
yeah.
So if you have routines, is the moment you really master them, and if you have not, is the moment to start them. So
Yeah, that's,
next
you took
time,
my question, because this is, what do you do for people that actually don't have really routine? Um, Routine gives us a sense of control, and especially when the world outside is going crazy. By doing this control, you have, by doing these routines, you have also a sense of accomplishment and a sense of
yes,
control over your life.
yes,
So what would be, because you're very much into health, you're a lawyer that is a very spiritual lawyer as well. Besides being very successful as a lawyer, you're very successful also in helping people with their health and with spirituality and
and
mentally. So
this is my story, because at a certain point I realized that I was not complete. So we are mind, but we are also spiritual, and
yes,
we are physical as well. And
yes,
if we want to thrive, we
yeah.
really need to balance all this part of who we are. So
And
you
first
need to be
discover.
spiritual, because a purpose is needed in order to achieve what you want. And
Yeah.
you need to be physically strong, because your mind cannot do it itself if your body is weak.
So what are the few things to do to get yourself strong physically. Let's start
So,
physically.
first of all, now at the present moment, you have so many resources for free.
Mm.
So, just start some courses, yoga, go running, go walking, do some breathing, some meditation, and start when I say routine,
Mm.
means do it every day at the same time. After 3 weeks, you do it every day, you realize that it's easy. So you can
Yes.
start anything. You can also dancing, you can gardening, but do something. And especially in the open air, in the sun. Now the sunny season is coming,
Yes.
warmth is coming, and everything will be easier.
So move the focus to your routines as well,
this
right?
is this is when you just shift the focus into the reason why you do them, because it's not just the physical part of your routines, but the
Right.
meaning you are giving to your routines. So that's
Mm.
my pretty much my focus at the moment, is why I want to be strong, what I want to accomplish at the present moment, which is the big dream I have now,
Mm.
that need that extra fuel.
Yes. Beautiful. And do you see a lot of people doing this in Italy?
They are starting, because at a certain point here, you don't have a choice anymore. Here, for example, the economy is dropping down
Like
drastically.
everywhere. Yeah.
Here everything has been shut down for 2 months.
Yeah.
So we are 1 month ahead of everybody else. So
Yes.
here you can learn from us one more time. After 2 months, you are at home. If you don't start getting stronger, you are getting weaker.
Yeah.
And if you don't start to master your mind, to master your thoughts, and to live with a purpose, could be too late
So
for
what are
for your
yeah.
business, first of all.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are some of the things that you do to keep yourself strong mentally, physically? What do you do?
So what I do specifically in this period of time is I wake up earlier than usual. So
Yes.
so I wake up when the first light is entering the room, and I leave my windows open. So I wake up with the first light, and I wake up. So I have 1 hour more than usual to center myself with my breathing, my incantations, my yoga, and my meditations. So I do every day 1 hour and a half of routine
Okay.
every day. And when I start my day at 8, at 7:30, I
Yeah.
have even more time than usual, even if I
Mm.
do 1 hour and a half of exercise, of mindfulness, because at that point I am ready and full of energy, and
Hmm.
I really want to start my day.
Yes. Yes.
And also living with the daylight gives you more energy.
Yeah. It
So the
balances. Yeah.
chronobiology is very important.
Yeah. So you go to bed a bit earlier as well?
Yes.
Okay, so you
I
keep your sleep hours or your sleep regimen as it is. So you invest in it. You make sure that you sleep enough, especially now there
that
is an opportunity.
exactly, this is a must. And it's not always easy
Yeah,
to sleep your 8 9 hours. But
yeah,
if you really want to be strong, you need at least to slow down. So I know that if I have something important that require my energy, I need to do it in the morning. Already in the afternoon, I start doing things that are less demanding of our energy.
Okay.
So preparing for the next day. So I know that at 7, I really slow down and I do things I enjoy. There are part of my routines that are, for example, reading, and I do it in the late afternoon or night. For example, cooking.
Yeah.
I do it. So I start at 7. I start all these routines that nourish myself in a different way. So cooking, taking time for cooking,
Yeah.
and then reading or watch a movie that inspires me. So not just choosing a movie like that,
Yeah.
but choosing something that is empowering.
Good. Let's talk about a business a little bit. How this impacted your business, and what's different about your routines about business?
Yeah.
How do you approach it?
You know, it's maybe weird to hear this, but for me, this has been a great opportunity. Because in order to thrive now, you really need to be focused on your business. You cannot just go on and do, what you do usually. You really want to think what your customer, what your own client needs at this very moment. And then you have to provide it, of course. So this required action. So you start first. I I I thought about what to do differently, what to do that could add more value to my client.
Yeah.
And then I started just doing it and asking for feedback, because this is always something useful.
Yeah.
For example, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm doing some online courses. So if people have some extra time, having an is short everyday course you can do that empowers you in some way.
Yes.
So my ideal clients are ladies that are in business and that are not only entrepreneurs but only leaders.
Yes.
So it's quite a specific niche. And I was thinking now what they need. And for me, energy is one of this.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, for example, I decided to do something that can help them increase their energy. Is one of the things but you can apply this to your own work, to your own mission.
Yes. So what skills, new skills are you learning or you've started to learn for yourself in this period?
I am always been good in planning, but now I think I am a bit, really organized in this. So deciding, making a monthly plan, a weekly plan, a daily plan, and sharing this plan with people that support me.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, this is a sort of my weekly plan. Here you have 4 days, and here other days, and then I make the daily one. And this is something that
And you
maybe
do it
you're
in
very
the
good at, but write it down.
And you do this in the afternoon, you are saying, right?
Yes, in the late afternoon, I
You do for the next
prepare
day.
the next day.
Mm.
These are things, for example, that I do during the weekend.
Yeah.
Or, the weekly plan is done usually on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
But for example, you can do it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
At the same, So you can choose when is better for you. But for me, is just to start, do
Yeah.
what I really, my priorities, and then during the day to do my optionals,
Yeah.
and then programming the next day.
The next day. Okay. What about TV? And then not only for you, but in general, because how much TV do you watch in terms of news and everything and related to Corona, COVID-19 and
I
everything?
could, if you talk about news, I could say I watch around zero.
Okay.
And the reason is that most of the news are not empowering.
Yeah.
And I want to nourish my brain just with empowering thoughts. And sometimes I don't know how accurate they are at the same
Yes.
time. So I want to choose very carefully the news I want to 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 read, and maybe do it just once a week, because we don't need to micro details. You know,
Yeah.
if you know how it's going, you have a line, you have a direction. For example, now we are improving, but it doesn't matter if you are improving 1%, 2%, or 2.5%. We are
Yeah.
improving. This is a good
Mhm.
thing. Next
Yes.
week, I will see how it's
And
going
celebrate. Yeah. How
and
do you
celebrate.
Yeah. How do you select the source of information that you want? What is your
Usually,
process?
I go on the internet and I search a couple of, for example, BBC for me is a good source,
Source.
so I
Hmm.
use it. But I believe that each of us should have his favorite one. And
Favorite?
then there is this, mouth to mouth news. So the very important things
Yeah.
are
Yeah. Yeah.
coming, even if you don't want.
Yeah.
You don't need to search for
And
them.
that's quite dangerous in a way.
It is. It
I mean,
is.
it maintains the connection between people, and for this, I find it very good. But in terms of the reliability of the source, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
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 And
This is,
what? Yeah. Sorry.
no,
And
no,
what are
this
the
is
things
why
that you?
usually I tell my people, if you please can just send what you're sure can be reliable, and for the rest, put a smile, put a kiss, tell me I think about you, but please avoid
Listen,
this terrifying things that most of the time are fake as well.
exactly. So tell me, if you look at the society, Italy as a whole, what did you guys do very good that we can learn from?
You know, I'm really proud because Italy in this situation really bond. So
As a
we are,
nation?
yes, we are together in this. So we share a lot, we talk about it a lot. We are great in talking,
Yes.
and we are really supporting each other. So we share resources. We share, for example, a day tonight, everybody, let's just sing together, and everybody's doing it. Or
Yes.
let's put a candle on the window, and you see outside your window, and all the lights are there.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful because we understand that support is
Support is
essential.
very.
So we can stand together even if we are not together. The physical part is beautiful, but it is not essential.
Yeah.
We can be together and be brothers and sisters even if you are far from each other, and we know
Mhm.
that.
And what are some of the things that you guys did that allowed, for the situation to improve right now?
Uh, I
So
really believe take
support
responsibility of the situation.
individual at individual level, or
As an individual, understand that is not only about you, but is
ah,
about everybody.
yes,
So when you go out and you are not just you going out, it's not about you, is about
It's
the
about the others.
effect on others,
Yeah.
about how this can impact weaker people, because maybe you meet with somebody else that is completely fine, but you are positive,
Yeah.
and the other person get positive and then goes home, and there is another one, or there is a child,
Yeah.
and they are not so strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was aware from the very beginning, because my mother, I cannot say her age, I'm sorry. uh, she she was really sick last winter,
Mm.
and she's still quite delicate. So it's not only her age, is also her health condition.
Yeah.
So from the very beginning, I was really careful about people I was with, and when I was with her, to send her all my love from distance. So, for
Yeah.
example, we talk every day, and this is beautiful because before we're not doing it. And when I go to her house, for example, to do something or to bring her some shoppings or yeah, whatever, there is this connection without touching. But
Interesting.
yeah, just because we know that if we really care, we have to avoid it.
Yeah.
So it's even more, beautiful to see that I'd love to hug you, and you know that, and I send you love from distance.
Isn't it amazing how we learn to show love in different ways
Yes.
in this period? How this impacted the relationship in your family and in families, you think, in Italy?
I believe that this is a great learning for us. Really, first of all, we have more time for families.
Ah,
So there is a great opportunity behind this to
yeah,
really start enjoying simple things. Enjoy your family, enjoy what is usually granted and is
yeah,
not granted anymore.
yeah. There are, of course, there are families in which there are problems, with
Yeah.
domestic violence, where that just, I hope the societies are taking care of these people that are abused at home. Um, but also, let's say, normal families where the relationship between the members of the family, between partners even, are not the
Yes.
best. What can they do? What would be some things that people can do to explore this and elevate their experience in their family, especially now if they are not, let's say, in the best terms with each other, but they
So
are in this, they are sharing the space.
let's say that this is a lesson I'm learning, that is quantity versus quality, what to
Mm,
choose. And in this situation, we have both. So, what if we could have quality and quantity? So, I don't say you have to plan it, but at least consider that when you are together, you can do something that can nourish your relationship. Talking more, talking about things you are passionate about, do
mm.
something we both like.
Get in a curious state to learn about each other,
I love this.
right? Because we are changing, people change, and we still think,
Yes.
judge the others as in the past, right? And there is one thing, we when if any of you have conflicts at home or in general, think about this. In general, we assess ourselves based on our intention and not on our impact on others. But we assess or we judge or criticize others based on their impact on us and not on their intention. So starting, I think, to start reflecting, self-reflecting about your intention, about the other person intention, and start communicating also at the level of intention, brings the conversation, I think, at the deeper level, because so many times we agree at the level of intention and we fight at the level of behavior, right?
This is a great lesson for us all,
Yeah.
to focus more on the intention of the other person, and that when you have chosen that person should be granted. But many times we are still confusing the person with action,
Yes.
without understanding that that person is doing the best they
Yeah.
can. And in this situation, it's not always easy to be our best. And if you are, you can help. And if you are not, you can be even more compassionate with the other one.
And can you give, from your perspective, some ideas about how to cultivate compassion to those that have, let's say, a longer route to cultivating compassion?
For me, what is helping most than everything else is to focus on what is great in the other person. What is great, and sometimes when it's not easy, what you can learn from that person.
And maybe don't wait until you have a fight or a conflict with that person, but secretly um,
Exactly.
water the plants and then start
Yeah.
training your focus and your mental focus on
Yeah.
this, right?
And write it down.
Write it down. That's a great why do you think it's good to write down?
Many times we just think about it, and when is a hard time, we forget. But if we write that down and say, this is, and then you go back and read it and say, I have written this.
There are
And,
different mental processes involved as
and
well,
I
right?
said that it's true. So you have to believe. You need to be honest
Yeah,
when you write, and
yeah,
then have the same honesty when you go back and read it. For
yeah,
example, I have it in my bathroom. So I attach it on the wall, and when I go to the bathroom, I read it. And I am the biggest fan of my family and
yes,
of my husband now, because reading how great he
it
is
is. It
every
is.
day
Yes,
helped me so much to recognize it. When
yes,
sometimes maybe he's overreacting on my
yeah,
very good intention.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing I do with my husband, we write each other notes and we put them in crazy places that we can still find them, about something that we admire about the other person, specifically a quality they have that we admire. Or I so admire when you are kind in the way you interacted with one of our children doing this. So more specific, because it's like, oh, I feel so good and I feel good about myself and I feel good that somebody else witnesses, because we women like to be witnessed and to be seen, and like everybody wants to be seen. So these are more small things, right? To remind ourselves, put cues in places where you can see during the day, right? Like you do. And also water the seeds with the other persons in your family and let
I
them
love
know.
what you do, Catalina.
Yeah.
We acknowledge the other greatness a lot
Yes,
verbally,
yes, we do that.
but we don't do
Maybe.
it with write notes, and I love it. And not
Yeah.
give the notes to the other person,
No,
but
let
just
them.
put it somewhere
Yeah,
so it's a
yeah.
surprise when
And
it's
to
not expected. I love it.
and
I
and
love
to
it.
be honest, my husband started years ago, 20 years ago. I would find when I would travel without him, I would open, and it still happens, right? We do this. I would open my suitcase and I would find a note from him. And we do this with the kids as well. And so it's really nice. It's beautiful. Okay, so that were so interesting things and useful, and I learned from you a lot, as always. So, importance of routines. Remember, if you don't start routines that will help you um, get you in the direction that you want. But so first think about how do you want to emerge in life and emerge at the end of these challenging times, and also what routines could help you get there, right? You mentioned the importance of why, thinking why are those routines important, not just doing them, but also going deeper and give them a meaning. Learn new skills. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and also if it's possible to attach to it a spiritual meaning as well.
A spirit.
A spiritual.
Yes, a
So
spiritual meaning, right?
yeah, for example, connecting with energy, connecting with something that is higher than you.
That,
So
yes,
you get also the energy from the entire universe.
right.
So you are not just growing your own energy,
Yeah,
but you take what you can take and then you give it back. So it's
yeah.
an energetic exchange
Exchange.
that is useful for everybody. And this
Right,
is just at a spiritual level that cannot happen at a physical level.
right. Be mindful of what you feed, what kind of news you feed to your system. Make sure you have the right sources, right? Focus on your family and have beautiful interactions. Start focusing more on the intention and start the dialogue. Interact with each other in a curious way. Focus on your business. How can you best serve your customers? So start thinking, what skills do you need to develop in order to go to the next level, and ask your clients for feedback, because we are all in the same pot. You are mentioning a lot about the Italians that united together in these times, by creating, let's say, an unity and connection at the country level with singing or whatever actions. You mentioned the importance of staying calm, staying objectives, keep doing your routines. Don't underestimate challenges. Look at them realistically, and don't panic. Stay calm. um yeah, it was a lot. Thanks a
It
lot,
was a
Donna.
lot.
Yes,
Thank
thanks
you.
a lot, Donna.
Thank
And
you, Catalina.
please keep sharing your ideas, your experience, and your wisdom. Thank you so much for being with us. I hope it was useful. If you get one good idea, it's good for you, and implement it. So think about, from everything you learn, just don't say, oh, I heard this, I know this, because if you know it but you don't do it, it's like a rumor, it's like you don't know it. So think about, how would this useful be, how would this be useful to me? So start thinking in terms of implementing new things that you learn and you hear. And if this doesn't work for you, you can let it go, but at least you have an experience of life. So you move from the intellectual level to just doing it. Be a player, not a spectator. Thanks a lot, Donna. Thanks for
Thank
being
you,
here with me.
Catalina. Thank you
Until
for
next
having
time,
me.
we will continue our conversation on health, on spirituality, and let's see, on our projects together. Thanks a lot. Much love.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Bye bye,
Much.
everybody. Thank you.